morning class. In this short lecture, we'll be learning about earthquakes and its anatomy. In our last class, we have already finished rocks. In rocks, we have learned various important topics such as what is rocks, what is hydrology, different types of rocks. So we have rock types such as igneous, metamorphic, sedimentary. And just a quick recap. So igneous rock, it's formed by lava or magma. Then we have sedimentary rocks, and as the name suggests, sedimentary rocks are formed by sediments. There are various factors through which sedimentary rocks are formed, such as erosion, weathering, cementation, leaching. All those lead to formation of sedimentary rocks. Finally, we have metamorphic rocks. So metamorphic rocks are formed due to heat and pressure. Primarily, it's formed due to PVT, pressure, volume, and temperature. Then we have learned about the various features of these rocks and also the example, such as sedimentary rocks are generally softer than your igneous rocks. And then we have learned study of rock system, or the branch of geology which studies composition, structure, and formation of rock system is known as petrology. Before that, we have already covered important topics in geography such as drainage pattern. We have completed frontiers. We have completed all islands. So these are important topics from the perspective of CPS and NBA. In today's class, we'll be learning about earthquakes and anatomy. So earthquakes anatomy, it's a very repeated kind of set of questions which gets asked, such as what are P waves, what are S waves, what are L waves, or they will jumble up sentences like P wave is secondary wave or S wave is primary wave, and you have to write it true or false. They will ask you about the shadow zone. They will ask you what is epicenter, what is hypocenter, which wave is the fastest, which wave is the slowest. So these are the questions which one can expect from earthquakes. So let's start today's short lecture. Basically, we have two processes. So they are endogenic and exogenic. As the name suggests, endogenic processes are formed in the interior parts of the earth. Exogenic are formed in the exterior part. So in endogenous processes are responsible for landforms like mountains, plateaus, lakes, and exogenic are primary landscape shapers. So events like earthquakes and volcanism are endogenous processes. They start in the interior part of the earth. So sources of information of so we have two methods. They are basically direct and indirect. In direct, we have methods such as drilling, and in indirect, we have earthquakes and all those. So now we come on to Earth's interior, temperature and density. So basically in Earth's layer can be read as we have crust, mantle, outer core and inner core. So temperature increases from crust to core. From here to here, temperature is always increasing. And density increases as you travel inward. That is crust, mantle, and core. So both temperature and density increases as you move towards inner Earth. Of an earthquake, or what causes an earthquake, how an earthquake is formed. So the fault, a sharp break in the crust where rocks move in opposite directions. Then we have friction, the force that locks rock layers together. Then we have release. So the pressure which builds over time is released in the form of shock waves or seismic waves, and it travels in all directions. So firstly we have fall. Fall creates friction, and then we have the release. So all those held up energy is released in the form of seismic waves or shock waves. So now we come on to the where an earthquake starts. So basically we have two parts, that is your epicenter and hypocenter. Epicenter is also known as focus. So hypocenter is the place where the exact point deep within the earth where energy is released, right? So hypocenter is also known as focus. It is where energy is released and it is deep within the earth. And we have epicenter. So it is the point on the surface directly above the focus where it is maximum damage. So on surface we have epicenter, on interior of the earth we have hypocenter. Hypocenter is also known as your focus. So this is an important part. Like hypocenter is known as your focus. It happens in the interior of the earth. Epicenter happens in the surface and it causes maximum damage. So what are seismic waves? So seismic waves are waves caused by earthquakes and volcanoes, magma and landslides, and human-made explosions such as nuclear testing. So these are the ways through which seismic wave takes place: earthquakes and volcanoes, nuclear testing, and magma flows and landslides. So now we come on to the waves. So different types of waves which when an earthquake occurs. Firstly, we have body waves. It's generated at the focus or hypocenter. It travels through the Earth's body or layers. Then we have surface wave, generated when body waves interact with surface rocks. It travels along the surface. Now we come on to seismograph. So what is seismograph? So seismograph records waves reaching the surface. Records the waves reaching the surface. So we have P waves, first to arrive, fastest, or also known as your primary waves. Secondary waves, second to arrive, and we have surface waves, last to arrive. So surface waves have the highest amplitude, indicating maximum energy and destruction. So this is the surface wave, which has the maximum destruction and it is the last to arrive. P wave is your primary wave, it is the fastest wave. Then we have your S wave or secondary wave, and then we have your L wave or surface waves. And surface waves have the highest amplitude, indicating highest destruction. Now we have P wave versus S wave. So P wave has the fastest velocity, first to be recorded, travels through solids, liquids, and gases. So this is important. It travels through solid, liquids, and gases and fastest. S wave is slower and moves only through solids, right? So these are the points which are important from the perspective of CDS and NTA exam from earthquakes and anatomy. We have learned about what is seismograph, we have learned about the different wave, P wave, S wave, surface wave, we have learned about hypocenter, which is also known as focus, and we have learned about epicenter, where we have learned where energy releases. Also, we have learned about various places where earthquake takes place. We have learned about indirect methods of information of the earth and direct methods of information of the earth. So thank you, class.